So we're going to try and get through, 15 and maybe 16, depending on how the discussion goes.
Okay. And then in 2 weeks we would do the last two, right? 17 and 18.
Yep,
Okay. Got it.
that's
Because I
the
know
goal.
I only put 15 tonight, but yep.
I think 15 will go pretty quick. There's not a ton of survey stuff in really in either of these. The 16 has a little bit more. So
Hmm.
um, yeah, let's jump into it here. I've got a few things highlighted, some stuff to talk about, and we're hoping Jerry will pipe in quite a bit because we've got a surveyor from his neck of the woods that's talked about in the first part of this book, and if he's got any insight into Mr. William A. Burt from Michigan, love to hear any side stories from that. Um, so we're talking about the dispossessed, and a lot of this chapter talks about those that are harmed by the public land survey system, the Native Americans that keep getting pushed as we make our strong push out west. But it starts out with a story. 70,000 people passed through the Crystal Palace in London in May 1st, 1851. There's this exhibition going from inventors. And so William Burt was a surveyor from Michigan that had invented a solar instrument, solar compass, which brought him over there. And so he's writing to his wife about it. It says, "A dear companion," he wrote that evening to his wife, Phoebe, back in Michigan. "This grand possession consisted of nearly every nation under heaven in one harmonious band engaged in one object. The like was never seen before. I cannot give you anything like an intelligent view of it. It exceeds by far anything and everything that I had imagined. There is here everything to be seen in nature and art that this world produces." Square-shouldered and bearded, Burt had spent the greater part of his life in the emptiest parts of the frontier among the hills and lakes of Michigan and Wisconsin, and nothing had prepared him for his experience. His invention of a solar compass had brought him across the Atlantic. In the Michigan Peninsula, enormous iron deposits threw off the land surveys of magnetic compasses so badly the needles danced back and forth through as much as 60 degrees. Burt's compass used the sun to give true north, was immune to such distortions. Its value had led to be chosen as one of 560 American exhibits alongside Cyrus McCormick's Mechanical Reaper and Samuel Colt's repeating revolver on display at the Great Exhibition. So I don't know a whole lot about the solar compass or how it worked, but you guys, Trent, do you have one in your collection there?
I do not actually. I do not.
We used to have at Yearby Platteville where I taught. We had a transit with a solar attachment on the side that went on the side, mounted on the spindle and rotated with the telescope. I do have. I'll post this so somebody can get it. Harlan Onsrud, who wrote his master's degree in public land survey system in Wisconsin, did a chapter, has a appendix in there on the Burt Solar Compass, its development, and how it actually operates and stuff. So it's about 6 or 7 pages. I'll pull that out and